Welcome to the TCM Teach Podcast, the podcast designed exclusively for acupuncturists and Chinese medicine herbalists who are looking to build thriving, sustainable businesses. So, when you're thinking about business, you want to be able to grow a modern practice without losing integrity, energy, or of course, sanity. So that's something we're going to talk about today. But first, who am I? I'm Matthew Sabi Smith. I'm a licensed acupuncturist, herbalist, professor, and entrepreneur. And over the past few years, one topic that has come up constantly is short form video. Instagram Reels, TikTok, video content that feels intimidating, awkward, or completely out of alignment for a lot of practitioners. So today we're going to demystify it a little bit. No dancing, no pointing at text bubbles, and no pretending to be someone that you're not. We're talking about how acupuncturists can actually use Reels and TikTok in grounded, ethical, and practical ways that convert viewers into patients. If video has ultimately felt overwhelming, confusing, or simply not like you, then this episode is for you. So we're going to dive in right after my disclaimer. So please remember, I am simply a practitioner here to support you on your journey. The information shared in this podcast is intended for educational and learning purposes only and should not be taken as professional legal or financial advice. For guidance specific to your business, please consult with the appropriate licensed professional. Thank you. So, why short form content works, even for acupuncturists? And in the previous episode, you heard me talk about, is social media even worth it for you? Perhaps the journey of creating it could teach you a lot about yourself in the process. So short form video is something that can build trust a little faster than something that is a static post. For example, like a Facebook post without any video or anything. Patients ultimately want to see your face. They want to hear your voice. They want to figure out your character, see your shen. And they want to feel your energy. And sometimes video is a good way to do that. For example, you're listening to my voice, or if you're on YouTube, you're watching me speak this podcast. You get a better impression of me and who I am simply by hearing my voice and seeing my video. So if you saw me in person, you would already have a preconceived idea of who is Dr. Matt. Well, this is what we're talking about in relation to you building a clinic and creating video where ultimately you share your face, your voice, and your energy. So Reels and TikTok are not necessarily about entertainment when it comes to building a practice. It's about creating familiarity. The more predictable the journey or the roadmap for the patient, the more they can understand it, the more likely that they are going to walk through the door as a result and become your patient. Most patients end up booking because they feel safe, they feel calm, and they are confident that you are competent in what you are doing simply by the information that you share. Video ultimately accelerates trust when it feels human and not a performance. So it seems like I like using TikTok and Reels as trends because this is ultimate short form video where YouTube shorts are a thing too. So you can absolutely use this into YouTube shorts as well. I don't want to discourage you from doing that either. So when it comes to this, we are actually not as interested in trends. We are more interested in showing up authentically and consistently so patients get a real feel, or potential patients get a real feel for what we're all about and what our clinic is all about. Again, like I've stated before, you're posting something that's going to be shared with the whole world. Your clinic exists in your zip code, and your patients likely come from your zip code or surrounding zip codes. So don't try to speak to everybody in the whole world. Speak to who will ultimately be your patients. That's how you make it not a waste of time and who you can get the right people through the door as a result. It should be a complement to things you're already doing. For example, if you have your website, if you have your Google reviews, if you have email, if you have in-person interactions, think of social media as an add-on. I have too many people that I've worked with that think of social media being first because it's free, because it's accessible. Well, yeah, it's free and accessible for everybody in the entire world. So keep that in mind. Make sure you do more important things first, like actual interactions with people who could be your patients in your immediate vicinity. So with that said, Reels versus TikTok, what's the difference? Or even YouTube Shorts. But I'm using Instagram Reels and TikTok as examples, but I'll see what I can add in for you. So Instagram Reels they're strong for existing audiences. They work well with education and authority, and they can be ideal for local practices. You can even turn a reel into a paid ad to target your local area. TikTok, you can have a strong discovery engine, more forgiving algorithms, and great for educational storytelling. You do not need different content for each. You can reuse it, and one video you could post on both platforms, and you can absolutely do the same for YouTube. One thing that I personally find interesting with YouTube is the long form and short form content, because YouTube now has YouTube Shorts, which can be really great. So I want to add that in as well. Obviously, I have a YouTube channel where I post the podcast and the shorts together. So I wanted to be able to share that personal experience with you. Ultimately, you're using the same message, the same video, you're using it on different platforms. So hashtags might be a little different depending where you're posting it. Don't get caught up in trends nearly as much as getting the right information across to the people you want to work with. Only act like you're speaking to people in your local vicinity who are going to walk through your door. That's what's most important. If you get some social media troll that comes along from across a whole country or a different country, like, who cares, right? Don't engage. It's not worth it. Just focus on why you're there and doing business. Stick to the business. So ultimately, what type of videos actually convert to patients? Forget trends, forget clarity. Focus on clarity. High converting video themes like who acupuncture is for and who it's not for. I mean, technically it could be for virtually anybody. There's very few people who can't get acupuncture. What a first visit actually feels like. Common reasons patients might be nervous, and maybe you can debunk some of those reasons or even myths that people have heard about acupuncture. What are conditions that you might treat most often in your clinic, or what is your specialization? And what acupuncture helped certain types of patients with. So case studies, obviously making sure that you're following HIPAA guidelines and everything, but sharing case studies with information that is pertinent can be really eye-opening for people. Patients are not looking for anything flashy. They're just looking for reassurance. Those are the type of people you're trying to speak to. Don't go doing all the dances in your clinic and hoping you're going to get patients through the door. That's not what this is about. And also don't try to act like a total boss on social media either, because then you just come off as a little cocky, and nobody wants a practitioner who seems full of themselves. You're not going to want to work with them, right? Confidence is great. However, understand that short form content is a window into you as a person, and it could be a first impression. If you're not comfortable with that first impression, maybe don't post that video. Simple reel and TikTok structures that you could consider. You don't need to be clever. Again, it's just about being clear. A hook, first 2 to 3 seconds. Did you know? Or have you heard? Or when I saw, things along those lines. It makes your video engaging. Clear explanation. What are you talking about? What's the point? And then make sure you tell them where to go next. If you didn't see this video, go watch now. You've heard me in podcasts say, if you didn't hear me talk about that, go back and listen. That's important. Or if you're looking for more, go to the TCM Teach Patreon. Or if you want to see me in person, watch YouTube. Or if you can't watch video, listen to any platform. You'll hear me. So example hooks. If you're curious about acupuncture but nervous, ... Most people think acupuncture is painful, but here's the truth. Here's who acupuncture helps the most in my clinic. The idea is clarity is going to beat the influencer creativity type of stuff. Excuse me. One of the things that I just thought of, by the way, when it comes to when people say acupuncture is painful, well, yeah, that's really practitioner dependent and it's very patient dependent. I always like the fact when I learned at school that an acupuncture needle is 140 times thinner than a medical syringe. Oh, have you ever had a vaccination in your life or a shot, whatever, like growing up or something? Did you know that an acupuncture needle is 140 times thinner than that needle? It's a good grabber. You can steal it if you want, by all means. I don't remember where I read it. It's a long time ago. So, common video mistakes that acupuncturists make. Waiting until it's perfect to post. Analysis paralysis, perfectionism. Whoo, that is not worth it because you're just going to be hurting yourself. Just put it out there. You've heard me mess up in episodes so many times or stumble on my words. I'm not going to start the whole episode over because as long as I get the idea across and get you the lessons, that's all that matters. Good enough. Move on. Over-explaining instead of simplifying. If you can't explain it simply, reevaluate. Find a way to explain it simply. Make it so a first grader can understand. Trying to copy influencers or coaches, yeah, everyone is an expert behind a screen. So much of social media is not even real. So just keep that in mind. Just do your thing. Talking to other acupuncturists instead of patients. I did mention this before. Make sure you're speaking to your target audience. You don't necessarily need to talk to other acupuncturists when you're trying to build a clinic. My scenario is different. I make this podcast for acupuncturists and herbalists. That's different. I'm not looking for all of you to be my patients, right? So speak to your patients. Never forget your call to action. Make sure you tell people how to book with you. And always avoid silence or not posting at all. If you're gonna do social media, you're gonna have to do social media. If you just don't want anything to do with it, I would not recommend starting. I would put your energy into things I would still say are more important, like face-to-face interaction, email. Those are huge if you know how to use them correctly. Paid ads are even a way to show up on social media without having a following. Even things like Facebook groups can even be helpful. You just have to make sure you're following the rules of the groups. So we're not going to dive into that too much. We are also focusing on short form video today, so keep that in mind. So in TCM, shen, that's the thing that's felt immediately. You're analyzing a patient's shen as soon as they walk in the room. I mean, think about it. I'm a practitioner. I get it. I'm analyzing people's shen like all the time just in public. Like, oh, I don't know about that dude. Or, yeah, they seem all right. Or, okay, I get a vibe that it's all good now. But if their eyes are like going crazy all the time, I'm like, ooh, they're not even looking at me. This is weird. Shen. You want to come across as authentic in your videos. Video captures shen better than any other medium. It shows the eyes. Your presence matters more than editing, lighting, trends, scripts. Remember, you're not trying to perform. You're just trying to be clear. My name is so-and-so. I do so-and-so. Come see me here. Here's how to book. Short and to the point. So keep that in mind. Here's a little sustainable video strategy if you're really busy. maybe getting your business started, or if you already have a thriving clinic and you're trying to get more out there into the world. Think about 1 video per week. Could be long form, could be short form. 1 video per week over a year. That's 52 videos in a year. That's pretty substantial if they're high quality. 30 to 60 seconds. Doesn't need to be more than that. And it could be filmed right in your clinic or your office just with your selfie camera. That's all it takes. Cameras are really good now, even from your phone. Reuse videos across Reels, TikTok. You could share those to stories, YouTube Shorts. The idea is the consistency is building trust, and the amount of videos you post is really up to you and what you can handle or are up for. What type of challenge are you up for? It's better to do 1 per week than a ton at once and then radio silent for 6 months. So how Reels and TikTok or Shorts fit into your business? Video is going to support website conversions, social proof, word of mouth referrals, and patient confidence before the first visit. It's also a good place to put announcements. If you're, again, really speaking to your local audience, it should be your local audience who's following you. And so if you have an announcement where, hey, I'm going to be closed next week, just want to let you all know. Also, anyone who's on email, you'll get an email about this too. Just be aware. That's a really easy way to use social media and be like, hey, I'm not here to show up for anyone except the people that are here to work with me. Take it or leave it. That's a really good way to think about it as a practitioner. And then also, just make sure you always have that call to action. Make sure you go here. Because if your Instagram gets shut down and all your announcements are just through Instagram, how else are they going to reach you? Hopefully you have their email. Don't focus on growth hacks, algorithm hacks, whatever. Just remember to focus on your clarity. Speak to who you want to see come through your door. So when patients feel like they already know you, booking does become easier. So I have some closing thoughts and a final angle to share with you. Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, they don't require you to become someone else. You should be authentic. You should be yourself. And they simply invite you to show up clearly, calmly, and consistently. Whatever fits in your schedule, do that. Forget all the noise. When your message is aligned and your intention is service to patients, the video becomes one of the most powerful tools for building your relationship with potential patients or even current patients. And that way you're not going to burn out. You're not trying to take on the whole world. You're trying to help people find you and get through your door in your area. So if you want help creating short form video content that actually converts patients without trends, pressure, or overwhelm, I break this down step by step in the TCM Teach membership on Patreon in the Practitioner Hub section. So this includes prompts, simple scripts, and real examples from working clinics. And with that said, so there was my call to action. So remember, use that. I just did that too. See, use that. So in our next episode, we're going to be diving into content marketing, educating patients without giving away too much. So until then, thanks for listening to the TCM Teach podcast, and we'll see you next time. 谢谢。